right. Well, hello. And I should have waited for the alert. All right. Hello, everybody. Or nobody, as the case may be. Or ye who perceive in the future. Welcome to the first ever installment of JunkshopLibrary After Dark. There's a brief story behind this. What had happened was I forgot to record Terrible Bible ASMR for Friday until it was very nigh unto too late. At which point I was not in a mental place that would allow me to do that. If you caught that, that was some amazingly dramatically timed thunder. We appear to be having a storm come in upon us. All right. So, having missed Terrible Bible ASMR last week, I auto-flagellated and self-recriminated and such have you. And then come around 7 o'clock tonight, I realized that there was something I should have done. And what was it? What was it? What was it? Oh, the main focus of this channel, Improv Bible Study, which I'm supposed to do at either 6 or 7 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Here it is. Significantly later than that, and well and truly after dark. And yours truly has had a bit of the fruit of the vine, but not yet any word of the Lord. So we're going to continue with the one and remedy the other as we launch tonight into Improv Bible Study at long last out of the Pentateuch into the book of Joshua. We will begin with chapter 1. We will for certain do chapter 1. And depending on the demands of the chat, we might go further. Who knows? Joshua, chapter 1, verse 1 and following. Now after the death of Moses, my. Now after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spake unto Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses' minister, saying, Moses my servant is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, thou and all this people, unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that I have given to you, as I said unto Moses. From the wilderness and this Lebanon, even unto the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and unto the great sea toward the going down of the sun, shall be your coast. There shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Be strong, and of a good courage. For unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land, which I swear unto their fathers to give to them. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law, which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper wheresoever thou goest. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Have I not commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest. Then Joshua commanded the officers of the people, saying, Pass through the host, and command the people, saying, Prepare you victuals, for within 3 days ye shall pass over this Jordan, to go in to possess the land, which the Lord your God giveth you to possess it. And to the Reubenites, and to the Gadites, and to half the tribe of Manasseh spake Joshua, saying, Remember the word which Moses the servant of the Lord commanded you, saying, The Lord your God hath given you rest, and hath given you this land. Your wives, your little ones, and your cattle shall remain in the land which Moses gave you on this side Jordan. But ye shall pass before your brethren armed, all the mighty men of valor, and help them, until the Lord have given your brethren rest, as he hath given you. And they also have possessed the land which the Lord your God giveth them. Then ye shall return unto the land of your possession, and enjoy it, which Moses the Lord's servant gave you on this side Jordan toward the sun rising. And they answered Joshua, saying, All that thou commandest us we shall do, and whithersoever thou sendest us we will go. According as we hearkened unto Moses in all things, so will we hearken unto thee. Only the Lord thy God be with thee, as he was with Moses. Whosoever he be that doth rebel against thy commandment, and will not hearken unto thy words in all that thou commandest him, he shall be put to death. Only be strong and of a good courage. And there we have the first chapter of the book of Joshua. Where there just ain't much going on. I know stuff eventually happens in Joshua, so I'm going to feel free to say that. But that introductory chapter, it was just, well, it's the changing of the guard, right? Oh, hey, Tony Designs. Hey, Tony, welcome aboard. Sorry about Thursday, man. I know you don't like it when, I know you're not really available when fun stuff happens on Thursday. We shall see what we can do. So yeah, but Joshua 1, it's just the changing of the guard. You know, Moses finally dragged his old ass up the mountain to die. And the turnover, the transfer of power has gone to Joshua, son of Nun, who for no readily discernible reason was named Heshua late in Deuteronomy, and I assume this is the same person we're talking about. Who knows? So yeah, the first chapter of Joshua is all reminders. Reminder 1, Moses be dead. Reminder 2, the 2.5 tribes that negotiated to have their children and their animals stay that side Jordan, their men still have to come across and fight. Sorry, this is new to me. I'm still trying to watch the chat and improv at the same time. Modding a... Oh, heck. Tony's modding a potential dumpster fire. Oh, I'm opposite a dumpster fire on NSS. Dear, 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 dear. I love the internet. I really and truly do, especially this weird new interactive form of the internet that we have these days. You know what? I'm going to do another chapter. I'm going to do Joshua 2. Since it was only, hey, what the craft? Welcome aboard. Indeed, I am. I am live. I am live. We're seeing how this works. And since What's the Craft is here, I have no choice but to do another chapter. Now, do I? Joshua, chapter 2. Where, oh, where are all of my reading glasses? I will never know. Second chapter, the book of Joshua. And Joshua the son of Nun sent out of Shittim 2 men to spy secretly, saying, Go view the land, even Jericho. And they went and came into an harlot's house named Rahab, and lodged there. And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, Behold, there came men in hither tonight of the children of Israel to search out the country. And the king of Jericho sent unto Rahab, saying, Bring forth the men that are come to thee, which are entered unto thine house, for they be come to search out all the country. And the woman took the 2 men and hid them, and said thus, There were men unto me, but I wist not whence they were. And it came to pass about the time of the shutting of the gate, when it was dark, that the men went out. Whither the men went, I wot not. Pursue after them quickly, for ye shall overtake them. But she had brought them up to the roof of the house, and hid them with the stalks of flax, which she had laid in order upon the roof. And the men pursued after them the way to Jordan unto the fords. And as soon as they which pursued after them were gone out, they shut the gate. And before they were laid down, she came up unto them upon the roof. And she said unto the men, I know that the Lord hath given you the land, and that your terror is fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you, when ye came out of Egypt, and what ye did unto the 2 kings of the Amorites that were on the other side Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom ye utterly destroyed. And as soon as we had heard these things, our hearts did melt, neither did there remain any more courage in any man because of you. For the Lord your God, he is God in heaven above and in earth beneath. Now therefore, I pray you, swear unto me by the Lord, since I have showed you kindness, that ye will also show kindness unto my father's house, and give me a true token, and that ye will save alive my father and my mother, and my brethren and my sisters, and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death. And the men answered her, Our life for yours, if ye utter not this our business. And it shall be, when the Lord hath given us this land, that we will deal kindly and truly with thee. Then she let them down by a cord through the window, for her house was upon the town wall, and she dwelt upon the wall. And she said unto them, Get you to the mountain, lest the pursuers meet you, and hide yourselves there 3 days, and the pursuers be returned, and afterward may ye go your way. And the men said unto her, We will be blameless of this thine oath, which thou hast made us swear. Behold, when we come into the land, thou shalt bind this line of scarlet thread in the window, which thou didst let us down by. And thou shalt bring thy father, and thy mother, and thy brethren, and all thy father's household home unto thee. And it shall be that whosoever shall go out of the doors of thy house into the street, his blood shall be upon his head, and we will be guiltless. And whoever shall be with thee in his house, his blood shall be on our head, if any hand be upon him. And if thou utter this our business, then we will be quit of thine oath, which thou hast made us to swear. And she said, According unto your words, so be it. And she sent them away, and they departed, and she bound the scarlet line in the window. And they went and came unto the mountain, and abode there 3 days, until the pursuers were returned. And the pursuers sought them throughout all the way, but found them not. So the 2 men returned, and descended from the mountain, and passed over, and came to Joshua the son of Nun, and told him all things that befell them. And they said unto Joshua, Truly the Lord hath delivered into our hands all the land, for even all the inhabitants of the country do faint because of us. And that is Joshua 2. Joshua chapter 2, also known as small sample size. These two guys go a-scouting to see how heavily defended is the great city of Jericho. And they find themselves in the house of a harlot. And the harlot takes a shine to them, and when she gets word that the king of Jericho is looking for these strangers, she drags them up to the roof and stuffs them into a bucket of hay, Assassin's Creed style, and says, you just hide out up here and I'll take care of the king's folks. And she goes down, and the king's most gullible spy hunters ever come to the door of Rahab the harlot and say, I hear you had some out-of-towners visiting. She said, yep, sure enough, there were some out-of-towners visiting. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. And they say, well, where are these out-of-town men? And she said, hell if I know. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, but it doesn't keep them hanging around to file Social Security. Says, probably they left out that way. Why don't you go check over there, outside the city, by the mountain? And they say, well, it's not like you'd have them hanging out on the roof, right? And she says, oh, yeah, right. Like, come on, I would have told you. So the absolute top-notch spy hunters of the king of Jericho go rampaging off into the desert looking for these two randos who are sitting up on the roof. And as soon as they clear the door, Rahab goes up and says, hey, here's the thing. I kind of stuck my neck out for you because honestly, everybody with half a brain round about here is scared absolutely goddamn shitless of your warlord God. And given that I just stuck my neck out for you, I would count it a great personal favor if when you come in to, knock down all of our holy places and enslave all of our preteen girls and set all of our stuff on fire the way you have a reputation to be doing. I'd greatly appreciate it, given the fact that I just saved your lives, if you would pass over this house of mine. And they say, okay, well, we're not going to go full on with the lamb's blood thing, but I tell you what, this rope that you made us to where we can scoot down outside the window, just leave it hanging down outside the window, and we'll tell old man Josh that that window with the red rope hanging down, anybody inside that house are under our protection. And then they take her aside and they say, and for God's sake, keep all your family inside that house, because we're going to be coming rampaging through warlord-like with the wrath of Joshua and the strength of Yahweh. So if your folks are not inside the protected house, we can't do shit for them. Rahab says, okay. And before they have gone, she takes the scarlet rope and ties it around and leaves it out the window. She didn't know when they're coming back. She doesn't know when the invasion is coming, but she ain't losing no time, and she ain't losing no family. And then Junkshop After Dark, y'all. And then she gives them the location of the secret mountain hideaway. and sends them to their secret cave in Mystic Mountain Nekatave. And they hide out there until the king of Jericho's spy hunters get tired and bored and go back and tell the king we couldn't find them. And then they come sneaking out and they run back to Joshua and they say, okay, here's the deal. Yes, it's a big walled city. Yes, it's fairly well defended. But you can also kind of walk right in and make friends with the hookers. So, I don't know. And here's also the thing. We did kind of promise this Outlander hooker that we would spare her entire familial line. And we did it in your name and in the name of God. So, word of honor. And Joshua's response is not recorded. I don't know how much of this thunder y'all can hear through my amazing microphone of doom, but I kind of wish something more dramatic was happening, because it's pretty dramatic on my end. Let's see. Yeah, Julie says this book would be awesome in places if people didn't take it for capital T truth. Rahab's milkshake. There we go, Tony. All right. Okay, so here's the question for our inaugural episode of Junk Shop After Dark. Should we wrap it here? Or should we do one more chapter? For one more chapter, hit 1 in the chat. I'm open to contribution from the studio audience. Julie says 1. And Tony says 1. All right. And What the Craft says 1. All right. We are unanimous in this. Joshua, 3rd chapter. This is fun. Cheers. Chapter 3. And Joshua rose early in the morning, and they removed from Shittim and came to Jordan, he and all the children of Israel, and lodged there before they passed over. And it came to pass after 3 days that the officers went through the host, and they commanded the people, saying, When ye see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, and the priests, the Levites, bearing it, then ye shall remove from your place and go after it. Yet there shall be a space between you and it, about 2,000 cubits by measure. Holy cow. Come not near unto it, that ye may know the way by which ye must go, for ye have not passed this way heretofore. And Joshua said unto the people, Sanctify yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you. And Joshua spake unto the priests, saying, Take up the ark of the covenant, and pass over before the people. And they took up the ark of the covenant, and went before the people. And the Lord said unto Joshua, This day will I begin to magnify thee in the sight of all Israel, that they may know that, as I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. And thou shalt command the priests that bear the ark of the covenant, saying, When ye are come to the brink of the water of Jordan, ye shall stand still in the Jordan. And Joshua said unto the children of Israel, Come hither, and hear the words of the Lord your God. And Joshua said, Hereby ye shall know that the living God is among you, and that he will without fail drive out from before you the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Hivites, and the Perizzites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Jebusites. Behold, the ark of the covenant of the Lord of all the earth passeth before you over into Jordan. Now, therefore, Take you 12 men out of the tribes of Israel, out of every tribe a man. And it shall come to pass, as soon as the soles of the feet of the priests that bear the ark of the Lord of all the earth, shall rest in the waters of Jordan, that the waters of Jordan shall be cut off from the waters that come down from above, and they shall stand upon a heap. And it came to pass, when the people removed from their tents to pass over Jordan, that the priests bearing the ark of the covenant before the people, and as they that bear the ark were come into Jordan, that the feet of the priests that bear the ark were dipped in the brim of the water, for Jordan overfloweth all his banks all the time of harvest. That the waters which came down from above stood and rose upon an heap, very far from the city Adam, that is beside Zarethan. And those that came down toward the sea of the plain, even the salt sea, failed and were cut off. And the people passed over, right against Jericho. And the priests that bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord stood firm on dry ground in the midst of Jordan. And all the Israelites passed over on dry ground, until all the people were passed clean over Jordan. And that's Joshua 3. There's not an original story, even within what purports to be an original story. Fucking cubits. Amen. Oh, and yes. Hey, Jojo. Okay. There are many things that frustrate and annoy me about this chapter. Okay, first, come not within 2,000 cubits of the Ark of the Covenant. That's a cubit, give or take, 18 inches. Elbow to longest finger of an adult man. That's why we don't use that unit of measurement anymore, because some people are taller than others and some people have real short arms. But 18 inches times 2,000, let's round it down to 15. 15 times 2,000. Okay, that's a long fucking way. Okay, that's a big ass radius that you're not allowed to come anywhere near the magical box with God's dildo collection inside. That was from G.E.'s Bible study this morning. If you haven't been following Godless Engineer's daily Bible study, you don't know what you're missing. Much more vulgar than mine. But first of all, the ark goes forward. No one's allowed within 2,000 times 18 inches of it. And then we reiterate the crossing over on dry land in the midst of the body of water story. This is not the first time, and it will not be the last. Where something spectacular happens in this book, and some version of the spectacular happening is recreated, sorry about that, is recreated or reenacted or retold for the next mighty man of renown. Moses held up his stick, and the waters parted. Everybody walked through. Moses walked through, laid down his stick. All the Egyptians drowned. Joshua sent a representative of each tribe to go stand in the water, and as soon as all of their feet got wet, the water parted. This is kind of the thing where each new iteration of it gets a little more lame, right? Like Son of Godzilla. You know, why is it the fucking Pillsbury Doughboy? We don't know. And here we go. Tony Designs brings the math. That's 3,000 feet. A football field. A football field radius around. Good Lord, how much of this water dried up? Nobody's allowed to come within a football field's radius of the ark. Why am I analyzing this as if it were something that actually happened? Let's see. Jojo wants to know about the third parting of the waters. It's entirely possible that I misspoke, and what I meant to say was second. You know, the first parting of the waters is back when they were leaving Egypt and they drowned all the Egyptian soldiers behind them, and Yul Brynner said his God is God. And then this is just sort of a crappy Asylum Studios rehash of the blockbuster version, where they just send people to stand in the water, and the water just kind of peels off on either side. There's bound to be a later something about parting water, because this, heaven knows, this book is never just going to repeat something once. It's always going to be something else. Julie says, I can't keep up with the math or the arc stories. That's Junk Shop's job. No, I don't keep up with the math either. There's somebody out there who does the math and does lots more of it than I'm willing to do. You know who you are. And you are appreciated. All right. Well, we have meandered and spelunked our way through 3 chapters, and we're now over the 30-minute mark. So I think I probably better wrap this one up while it's got any chance of ever being watched on replay. I do want to say hello to Dominic, our 38th subscriber. We're closing in on that magical 40 years in the wilderness, 40 days and 40 nights of rain. I'm going to have to figure out something special and biblical to do when we finally cross that 40 subscriber threshold, just because of 40, because improv Bible study. The emphasis on that should have been on Bible study. This is the After Dark incarnation. Y'all let me know what you think. I'll put on a real shirt next time. This is a flying by the seat of the pants kind of thing that happened tonight, in case you hadn't picked up on that. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap this here at this point. Thank you for everybody who joined us. Spontaneous. Tony says shirtless whiskey and more cussing. That's Patreon only content, Mr. Designs. Junk Shop doesn't take his shirt off for just anybody. All right. Well, we will go ahead and wrap this here while we're on a high note. everybody take care and be safe. I will try to stick a little closer to my normal schedule in the days to come, but honestly, I had so much fun tonight, and to judge by the chat, so did we. We? Speak I now in the royal? We might have to experiment with Junkshop After Dark. This could be fun. All right. Well, having said it about 12 times, now I think I am going to wrap it up. Until we reconvene again, which will be at some point on Thursday, one way or the other. Until we congregate again, everybody take care, be safe, stand against hate. And yes, do not forget, myself and everyone else, that I do have a Discord. There is a link in the description, and one of these days I'll get better about interacting with it. Wait, what the craft does not have a wrench? Can I do that? No, I don't want to put you in timeout. Do you have a wrench now? I'm sorry. I've been meaning to do that for... There is not a link in this. Oh, there's a link in the description for things that I planned ahead of time. There we go. All right. I have a witch for a moderator. I'm so awesome. And so is she. Because there would not be a Discord were it not for her. Trust you me. There's not a link in the description. That's the Discord link. There we go. One more time. I was not in the live chat. Aha! There we go. Huzzah. All right, so anyone who wants to be discordant with me can be discordant with me. And in episodes of this where I actually have any semblance of my shit together, I do put an open invite link in the description. But since this was a little more impromptu, I don't know if there's even anything in the description. Oh, you people and your patience. It amazes me. It really and truly does.